Hare Krishna, this is Rasapati Das and I would like to welcome all of you to this video. Today we are going to discuss about Adhik Maas, which is also called as Mala Maas or Purushottam Maas, which is the 13th month in the Vedic calendar. We will discuss how it comes, why this 13th month is added in the Vedic calendar, and what are the reasons, what are the astronomical or astrological reasons, what are the stories given in the Vedic scriptures like Padma Puraan, and when this month occurs in our Vedic calendar, and what are the reasons behind them that we will be discussing. We will also discuss what we should be doing in this month, what is the purpose of this month, and what are the benefits of doing certain things in this month, and what things we should avoid in this month, which is the 13th month in the Vedic calendar. So let us first start with the astronomical reason. There are three ways of calculating time, or there are three different types of calendars in this world which we see. The first type is solar calendar, which is the most famous, the Gregorian or Roman or English calendar, which we all commonly follow from Jan to December. This is a solar calendar because this considers the movement of sun only. This calendar has nothing to do with the movement of the moon. It just considers the sun. When sun reoccurs in a particular constellation, that period is called as 1 year, or so to say, the rotation of Earth around the sun, the one rotation is called as 1 year. That's it. The second calendar is the lunar calendar, which considers the movement of moon. So one rotation of moon, or one Purnima to one Purnima, or one full moon to one full moon, or one no moon to one no moon is called as 1 month, and such 12 months consist, or they make 1 year. So that is a lunar calendar, but the purely lunar calendar doesn't take into consideration the movement of the sun. But there is a third calendar, which is the combination of both, which is called as lunisolar. So our Vedic system of calculating time, or the calendar, is called as lunisolar calendar. It takes into consideration both. What is the problem with solar calendar? There is no consideration of moon. What is the problem of lunar calendar? There is no consideration of sun. And the lunar calendar lags behind 11 days every year, because it takes around 354 days for the lunar calendars 1 year, and solar calendar, as we all know, it is 365 days. So there is a gap of 11 days, and each year this gap increases, and the purely lunar calendars, they lag behind the solar counting. So their months occur throughout the solar calendar, and our seasons are as per the solar calendar. So their months occur throughout all seasons. To balance that in our Vedic system, this peculiar month is added. When this gap becomes around 30 days, after each 2.5 to 3 years, so after 2.5, 3 years, this month gets added. This month comes sometimes after 2 years, 4 months, sometimes after 2 years, 10 months, 2 years, 11 months, like that. So this month comes around 7 times in 19 years. And this is a perfect way of balancing both lunar and solar calendar, because our lives are affected by both sun and moon. The scriptures also mention it. There are different, what we call it, effects of sun and moon, which are in varieties of fields. Will not go into those details, but both considerations are very, very important while calculating time, considering the movements of both these things. So this is a very interesting thing in the Vedic calendar, that this month is added every 2.5, 3 years, and it occurs only when there is no change of constellation by the sun before an Amavasya. When the sun doesn't change the constellation, when the sun doesn't transit into the next constellation, when it happens, then this additional month is added. And because sun doesn't enter the next constellation, there are no muhurtas, there are no auspicious moments in this month. So no ritualistic ceremonies or no muhurtas are there. So no ritualistic ceremonies are performed in this month. That's why people started calling it Mala Maas. So that we'll discuss ahead. So first, let us see what is the story behind this month given in the Vedic scriptures. This is described in Skanda Puraan, Padma Puraan, and many other scriptures. But today we will be considering Padma Puraan for our discussion. So there is a Purushottam Mahatmya, one scripture in Padma Puraan with 31 chapters. There it is described in great detail the spiritual significance of this month. So there is a nested dialogue there, Suta Goswami talking to Naimisharanya sages, And he says that I heard this from Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva was telling this story that Narad Muni once approached Naranarayana Rishi, and they described this story to Narad Muni. So this is Suta Goswami, who heard from Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva told the story that Narad Muni had approached Naranarayana Rishi. And he describes that he told a story. The story goes as follows: that when Pandavas, 5 Pandavas, were banished to the forest after they lost everything in the game of dice, then Krishna once came to meet them in Kamyavan, which is near Vrindavan. They were staying there. Krishna saw their troubles and their tapasya, their austerities. He got very angry. And he spoke, how can someone do this for such pious souls? And then Krishna calmed down, and then Yudhishthir Maharaj asked, don't blame those Kauravas. Please give us some solution by which we diminish our troubles, we reduce our troubles. Then Krishna instructed Yudhishthir Maharaj that you all follow the Purushottam Vrata, the extra month, the 13th month is coming now. You all follow the Vrata of Purushottam Maas. Yudhishthir Maharaj asked the question that, I don't know about it, we don't know. Please describe us, what is this Purushottam Maas? And Krishna said, this is the reason of your suffering, that in the previous life, you did not follow this Purushottam Vrata. And that's why some suffering has come to you. You disregarded this month. And then Krishna started speaking the glories of this month, how this month is great. Krishna spoke that sun doesn't transit into different constellations, so there are no murtas, no ritualistic ceremonies are performed. So the ritualistic people were karma kandis. They named it as Mala Maas, means dirty month, useless month. And the in charge of this month, because everything in this Prakriti, in this nature, has an in charge. Nothing is impersonal. Everything has a personality behind it, and which we call it in Sanskrit Adhisthata, or the superintendent. There is an in charge and there is a superintendent for each thing. So for every month there is an Adhisthata Devata and there is an in charge. So the in charge of this month saw that there is no Adhisthata, there is no superintendent, there is no presiding deity for this month. So that Devi who was in charge of this month, or who is in charge of this month, felt very sad that I am banished, or I am thrown away as useless. I am called as Mala Maas, I am called as dirty Maas. She felt very bad, and she was in great distress. She was not feeling any worth for living. She went to Brahmadev and she prayed that please give me some solution. I don't see any purpose of living. Then Brahmadev took her to Narayana in the Vaikuntha, in the spiritual planets. And then there Narayana saw the distress of this Devi and said that you don't cry. This is Vaikuntha, this is a place of happiness. Surely we'll find out a solution for your problem. And then Narayana took her to Goloka Vrindavan, which is the highest planet in the spiritual sky, where the Supreme Lord Krishna himself resides with all his devotees in great happiness in the eternal sky. And Narayana took this Devi to Goloka Vrindavan to meet Krishna. Padma Puraan explains, and Krishna immediately understands what is the difficulty of this in charge of this Adhik Maas or Mala Maas. And Krishna then and there accepted himself the responsibility of being the presiding deity of this extra month. And Krishna spoke many shlokas there, glorifying this month and glorifying its potency. We'll see some shlokas here, which Padma Puraan explains. Krishna is speaking after accepting this month accepting this month and becoming the presiding deity of this month. Krishna is speaking, Aham etair loke prathitaha Purushottamah tatha ayamapi lokeshu prathitaha Purushottamah. Just as I am known as Purushottama, the best among the men, this month will also be called as Purushottama. And after that Krishna says, Asmai samarpita sarve ye gunamai samsthita. Whatever qualities are there in me, I bestow all of them to this month. This month will carry all the potencies, all the shaktis, all the qualities which I have. Purushottameti yatrama prathitam loka vedayo. And this month will become famous in all the Vedas, Vedic scriptures, and all the human beings. And then Krishna says, Jagat Pujo, Jagat Vandyo, Maso Yam tu Bhavishyati. This month, this Masa will become Jagat Puja, Jagat Vandya. This will be praised all over the world. Pujakanam cha sarvesham dukkha daridra khandana. Anyone who follows the Vrata of Purushottam Maas, dukkha daridra khandanaha, his all miseries and all the sufferings will go away and he will achieve great results by following this vrata. Then he says, very important shloka. Sarva masa sakamascha nishkamoyam maya kruta. All other months are sakama. People are behind doing ritualistic ceremonies for their personal profit, personal gain, the selfish motives. They want to do some or the other religious ritualistic ceremonies, not spiritual. But this month is nishkama. This month is specifically empowered for bestowing benefits for those who will do spiritual activities in this month. Mokshadaha sarva lokana mattulyoyam maya krutaha. This month will award liberation. And mattulyoyam maya kruta. I have made this month as powerful as myself. Krishna is saying. Akamas sarva kamova yodhi masam prapujet. If someone is with desires or without desires, whoever approaches this month, karmani bhasmasat krutva, all his past bad deeds will be finished. They'll be burned to ashes. And mame vaishyatya samshayam, such person will approach me, or he will attain me. He will come back to the spiritual world. Krishna says in the next verse, this is the last verse we are going to discuss. Yenaham archito bhaktya masesmin purushottame. Whoever worships me in this month, dhanaputra sukham bhuktva, he will attain wealth, children, and all other things in this world, the material benefits also, if he desires. And paschat goloka vasabhak, and after this life, he will practice spirituality in this life, and after this life he will go back to the spiritual world after performing devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Krishna is awarding this benediction to the person who follows this Purushottama Vrata, Purushottama Maas, and intensifies his spiritual practices in this month. After hearing this, Draupadi got a question. Krishna told that you all follow this, and they agreed. Draupadi said, these 5 did not follow the Purushottam Vrata in the previous life. What about me? Why am I suffering? And Krishna says many reasons for suffering, but one of the reasons I will say about you also. Krishna starts speaking about Draupadi's past life. Krishna speaks that Draupadi, in your previous life, you were the daughter of Medhavi Rishi. And this Medhavi Rishi was a great devotee of the Lord. He was a great tapasvi, great ascetic. And unfortunately, your mother died when you were very small. You became motherless. And your father, Medhavi Rishi, he took care of you. And when you grew little old to say, means to say, you became of the age of marriage, you became in the you went into the teens. It was the time for your marriage, but your father was very busy and he couldn't get you married. And later he understood that the daughter should be married now. It's her age to get married. Then he searched for a suitable husband for you, but he didn't find anyone. And he came back once after searching a lot for a capable or a qualified husband for you. And he was very tired, and when he reached home in the Parnakuti, or the hut where he was living in the forest, then he collapsed, and suddenly your father also died. And you became an orphan. There was no one, no brother, no sister, no mother, no father, and you started crying. You were in great distress. How will I live? I don't have a husband. I am not married. There is no one in this world for me to support me, to protect me. And she started crying. Hearing her, all the sages came and they performed the final rites for Medhavi Rishi. And then amazing thing happened that Durvasa Muni personally came there because he was a very good friend of Medhavi Rishi. And Durvasa Muni came, this girl welcomed him and washed his hands and feet, and then gave some roots and fruits to him, and asked question to him that I am in such distress, such trouble. I don't have a husband, and I don't have anyone in this world. Why shall I live? I am in great suffering and great distress. And then Durvasa Muni instructed her that this Purushottam month is coming. You please follow Purushottam Vrata. This is the best among all months. This is the best opportunity. You worship the Supreme Lord Krishna and follow this Maas, follow this Vrata. And this girl, she was not impressed. She didn't like the idea. And she started speaking against Durvasa Muni. What are you saying? There are so many months, there are so many tithis, there are so many gods. Why shall I worship this particular month? I don't have any faith in this. I don't want to worship. I don't believe what you are saying. And Durvasa felt very bad. Actually, Durvasa got angry. Durvasa Muni is famous for his anger. We see in the scriptures that there are so many incidents where Durvasa Muni got angry and he cursed so many personalities. But here he controlled his anger because this girl was in a great distress and she was the daughter of his own friend. So he said that you are insulting me, but I will not curse you for my insult. But you have disregarded this Purushottam month, this great month who is as good as the Supreme Lord Krishna. So you will surely suffer for this because you have disregarded this life or the next. You will go through the troubles because you have insulted this Purushottam Maas. And Durvasa Muni walked off from there. And this girl was previously also she was in distress. Now she became in more distress. And then she started worshipping Lord Shiva. It is described in Padma Puraan. She worshipped Lord Shiva, and Shiva is Ashutosh. Shiva immediately appeared there. And as soon as Shivji appeared, she was like in great amazement that how can Lord Shiva appeared so early? I just started worshipping him. Because she was worshipping with great intensity, Lord Shiva appeared. And Lord Shiva asked, what do you want? Why are you worshipping me? And she was in great need of marriage. She wanted a husband who will protect her, who will take care of her. And she, in great anxiety, she spoke, I want a husband, I want a husband, I want a husband, I want a husband, I want a husband. And Lord Shiva immediately said, Tathastu, you will get 5 husbands because you have asked 5 times. And this girl was shocked. She said, how can this happen? I don't want 5 husbands. I never heard any lady having 5 husbands. It is not, it doesn't have any precedence, We see in the history many kings having multiple queens, but one lady doesn't have multiple husbands. And Draupadi was like in great anxiety. How can I, have 5 husbands? Shivji said that this is the desire of the Supreme Lord. You accept it. You will get 5 husbands in the next life. And this is how Draupadi got 5 husbands as 5 Pandavas, Padma Puraan explains. And then Krishna told that you all follow this Purushottam Vrata. They all accepted, and Pandavas followed this Purushottam Vrata with different deeds which are explained in the scriptures. We also see another reference in Nrsimha Puraan. We all know Hiranyakashipu asked many boons from Brahmadev to avoid his death. He wanted to become immortal, but Brahmadev said, I myself am not immortal. How can I give you the benediction of immortality? Then Hiranyakashipu tried to twist his boon and asked that I don't want to die in the day or night, in the house or outside house, or in the sky or on the land, and so many other things which we all know. But Nrsimha Puraan explains that he also added one benediction that, hey Brahmadev, I don't want to die in any of these 12 months which are created by you. And Nrsimhadev granted, okay. And then this 13th month came, and it is described in Nrsimha Puraan that Hiranyakashipu was killed by the Supreme Lord Nrsimhadev in this month of Purushottama or Adhika. Another description comes in Padma Puraan itself that Durvasa Muni, when he offended Ambarish Maharaj, we see the story in Srimad Bhagavatam. He ran around the whole Brahmanda, whole universe, but he couldn't pacify the Sudarshan Chakra who was chasing him because he offended the great devotee Ambarish. And then finally he had to beg forgiveness of Ambarish Maharaj, and Sudarshan subsided. But it is also mentioned in Padma Puraan that apart from asking forgiveness of Ambarish, Durvasa Muni was also instructed by the Lord to follow this Purushottama Vrata so that he gets cleansed of all the offenses which he performed. So this is also mentioned. We also see the reference of this Adhik Maas or Purushottam Maas in the pastimes of Shri Jagannath Ji in Jagannath Puri, which is also called as Purushottama Kshetra. So when this Adhik Maas or Purushottam Maas comes in the Ashadha month, which is the 4th Vedic month, Chaitra, Vaishakha, Jeshtha and Ashadha. When Ashadha Adhik comes, when this month comes, the Adhik month comes twice, and the 13th month is added before the Adhik Maas, then the deities of Jagannath Ji in Jagannath Puri are changed because Jagannath Ji is made of wood. So every 12, 14, 19, whenever Adhik Ashadha comes, these deities are changed in the Purushottam Maas. This is also one of the significant things which happen in this month. So what we should be doing in this month? As I previously said, this month is not for karma kanda or selfish ritualistic things. This month is only for spiritual upliftment. So we should follow the devotional service very intensely in this month. Those who are already following, they can intensify it. They can increase their dedication, their sincerity, their time in practicing the devotional service to the Supreme Lord. But those who are not doing, they should start in this month. This is the best time to start the spiritual activities. So there are many things mentioned in Padma Puraan. Some things we'll see quickly. Should get up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta, 1.5 hours before the sun rises. Sleep early. And we should not speak lies. We should be speaking truth. We should not speak ill about the Vedic scriptures, Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, Gomata, the cows, and those who are performing Purushottama Vrata. We should respect everyone. Most important is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, which is the Sankirtana Yajna, which is the best spiritual practice given for this Kali Yuga. Like we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There are many other Vishnu mantras which are chanted like Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In Maharashtra they chant Rama Krishna Hari. So these are all Vishnu mantras. So Vishnu mantras should be chanted in this month as much as we can. Like Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, 108 times, one mala, one round, it takes 7 to 8 minutes. So we can start with 2 rounds, those who are not chanting. This month is very special. Hearing and reading about the Supreme Lord, Shravanam, Kirtanam, visiting the temples of Vishnu. This is also prescribed in this month in Padma Puraan. Worshipping Radha Krishna, Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, the Vishnu Tattva, Vishnu form of the Lord or the expansions of Lord. And we should worship the Supreme Lord or Shaligram with tulsi leaves. Offering ghee lamp to the Lord. Cow's ghee. In some houses they keep a lamp continuous for 1 month, or we can offer the lamp to the Supreme Lord Krishna or Rama or Lakshmi Narayan. Bathing in the holy rivers, holy waters like Ganga, Yamuna. If we don't have, we can put some drops in our bathing waters. Some austerities, some tapasyas are also mentioned for this month, like eating once a day. Many people follow it. Eating fasting items like we use on Ekadashis, those items we can eat. Or morning fasting items, evening, grains. Abstaining from some favorite items, giving up some favorite food which we like. Not sleeping in daytime, sleeping on floor. Many things people follow in this month. But we should follow as per our capacity. And the main purpose is to intensify spiritual activities, not just boast ourselves for our austerities. Most important thing, apart from all these things also mentioned in Padma Puraan, is charity. The benefits of charity are great in this month. Padma Puraan explains you can give charity of spiritual literatures, wealth, grains, new clothes, Krishna Prasad, cows, or some useful items to a qualified Brahmana or a Vaishnava. It is important whom we are giving. That is also important. Serving Supreme Lord Krishna and his devotees is the most important thing. Giving charity and serving the Lord and his devotees in this month. What we can add in our daily routines in this month, we can chant some prayers, some specific chapters from Bhagavad Gita or 1 chapter every day, different stotras, different prayers from the scriptures. Like Srimad Bhagavatam has many beautiful prayers, like prayers of Queen Kunti, prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, prayers offered by Brahmadev, prayers offered by Vedic scriptures to Krishna. Many beautiful prayers which we can recite every day. We can read about Krishna. There is a beautiful book by Srila Prabhupada named as Krishna, where there are 90 pastimes of Lord Krishna mentioned in a very beautiful and a very nice language. We all can relish those pastimes, read a chapter every day or 1 or 2 chapters every day. So what are the benefits of this Purushottam Vrata? Anyone who follows this Vrata, not necessarily we have to do all these things which we discussed. We can take some things which are possible for us and we can follow them. So all the holy places reside in such person's body. Anyone who takes to this Purushottam Vrata and follows with great devotion, all the past karmas are burnt and he achieves the devotion to the Supreme Lord and goes back to the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha, as we discussed before. And benefits of all the spiritual activities which are obtained in this month are millions and millions of times compared to the other months or other times of the year. So this month is very special. That's why the scriptures tell that we all should take to the spiritual activities, abstain from ritualistic karma kanda in this month and take to the spiritual path, worship the Supreme Lord Krishna or Rama or Narayan, the Vishnu Tattva, and elevate ourselves in our lives, in our journey, because this world is full of suffering. In the scriptures it is said. Adi Shankaracharya says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam, Iha Samsare, Bahudustare, Krupaya Pare, Pahi Murare. Hey Murari, hey Krishna, this world is full of suffering. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. The real goal of human life is go back to the spiritual sky. Serve the Supreme Lord there with great happiness for eternity and stay happily in the spiritual world. So this Adhik month or this Purushottam Maas gives us opportunity to intensify our spiritual practices and serve the Supreme Lord and his devotees. If you all have liked the video, kindly like it on the YouTube and inspire us to make more videos. Please subscribe to this channel. We'll bring out more English videos also. This channel has more of Marathi and Hindi videos, but we are bringing out more English videos also. So please subscribe to this channel and please spread about this video to others. Please share it and let us know on which all topics you would like to watch the videos in the comments. We all stop here for today. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.